Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking all about Christmas. For Christmas in July. Let's go ahead and get into it. Hey guys, I'm Corina. If you are new here, if you are an oldie but a goodie, welcome back. I am excited today to talk to you guys about Christmas, and I know it is July, but this is the time, if you have not already done so, to begin thinking about Christmas and to start planning for your Christmas budget. Now, I know this sounds a little bit crazy because it is July and it's hot. I'm wearing a flannel with the AC on, so I understand when so many people are like, this is crazy, but for those of us who have experienced the stress and the frustration of not having enough or not being able to cash flow the amount that you want to spend for Christmas, this is the perfect time to begin thinking about that budget in order to alleviate that stress that could come. So today I want to share with you guys a few different things. Number one, I want to talk to you guys about a couple of Christmas challenge goals or challenges that you can implement for your family. I also want to share with you a few different priorities and categories to think about when it comes to your Christmas budget. And I'm also going to share with you our actual Christmas budget for this year and where we're at, what we are planning as our Christmas challenge savings, and how we're doing. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and update you guys each month on where we're at for this goal. And I will probably do that as a part of like my monthly budget update. So let's go ahead and get into it. I do have a lot of notes, so if you see me looking around, that's what I'm checking out. All right, so first things first, what do we actually need to plan for when it comes to Christmas? Now, most people just think about Christmas gifts. I just need to plan for, a couple people that I'm gonna buy gifts for. But truthfully, I know for me, number one, I end up wanting to buy gifts for literally everyone I know, and that's just not feasible for most people. But also, there are so many other things that come with the Christmas or holiday season that are so important to think about and to plan when you're looking at your budget, because honestly, there are things that creep up a lot. So a few categories that I want to share with you and make sure that you're including in your Christmas budget. Number one, of course, is gifts. Number two is outings. So different like events that you want to do with your family, if you like to go certain places, even if it's not an outing that requires like money to actually do the outing, but say it might require a little bit of extra gas. Say it might require some like extra snacks that you want to take. Plan a little bit in for those types of outings when you're looking at your budget. The next thing or category is number three, which is cards and photos. If you are a card giving family, also make sure that you plan for the stamps. If you're going to get family photos, make sure you plan for the tip for the photographer and obviously the photographer fee. And then you also want to plan for outfits, especially regarding those family photos. If you are a family like me who likes to take your annual family pictures in outfits that kind of coordinate, it's not necessarily that you have to go out and spend a ton of money on brand new outfits for everyone. But what I do is I look through our closets and see what we already have that kind of works as like a holiday theme. And then I just make sure that everyone has something that coordinates with that. So maybe that means I have to buy one shirt for Elias. Maybe that means I have to buy a shirt for my husband. Maybe that means that I want to get a little dress for Ella. So it could be just a couple of items, or it could be, needing a whole wardrobe or a whole set of outfits. But if you do that, then you can use that set of outfits or that particular wardrobe that you put together for different things. You can use that to wear to a Christmas church service or a family outing, or something that's a little bit more fancy because you already have the outfit taken care of. So that's the fourth category. And the fifth category is going to be hosting. So I actually but my husband and I, last year we hosted a Christmas Day brunch for our families. That was our first time ever doing that. And wow, the expense was big. So I definitely do not envy anyone who hosts regularly, but this is probably going to be the thing that we host for our families here moving forward. So having the experience of hosting last year, we were able to add this into our budget for this coming year and also kind of look at where we could tweak things to get it a little bit more in line with the budget that we wanted to set up. So let's talk about these categories just a little bit further. I know I kind of broke down a few of them already, but I want to talk about gifts really quickly. So when you're looking at gifts, I typically just think about, I'm going to get gifts for my kids and my spouse and like my family, like my parents and sibling. But really there's a lot more gifts that you can end up buying or, being kind of committed to. So obviously this varies so much by family. I know lots of people do different things for even just their kids and what types of gifts they're going to give them. So it really does vary, and it's such an individual decision. For our family this year, we are going a little bit scaled back as far as gifts are concerned, because we're actually going on a trip in the holiday season, and that's going to be pricey enough for us. So we're not planning on going crazy with gifts. Also, we just don't feel like our kids really need much. We don't really buy a lot of toys, but they have so much stuff. So we will actually kind of be holding off things from their birthdays, which is what we always do. We hold back like a couple toys here and there from their birthdays, and that can also be things that they received then at Christmas. So let's talk about the gift categories. So family, kids, spouse, parents, siblings, cousins, like little cousin, like your kids' cousins, nieces and nephews, aunts and uncles, the whole gamut. Figure out the whole family, grandma, grandpa, all of those people. The second category is going to be your friends or your kids' friends, and then school and daycare. This is something that has been a little bit newer for us. I mean, we're 4 years deep in daycare now, but I always manage to forget somehow about our daycare family when it comes to Christmas gifts and our Christmas budget. So definitely make sure that you plan in a little bit of cushion for friends of your kids, for your kids' teachers or care providers, their little daycare buddies. Even if you're just doing like a little small like goodie bag or something like that, or sending like a little treat, anything that you're going to do extra in your budget, you want to make sure you have accounted for. So for our daycare, we usually do like a Secret Santa, and our budget is like $25 to $30. So I make sure to budget for 2 of those because I have 2 kids at the daycare. And even though Elias will be starting preschool this year, and he won't be at the daycare full time, he could be at the daycare during like a Christmas break with preschool. So I always want to make sure that he's included in that budget as well. And then also for our care providers, which I already said. So we'll be planning for his teacher this year and our daycare provider as well. And then any additional friends. So if they have like some little buddies, or if my husband and I want to get a gift for some friends, or like say, a like little like a family that we're really good friends with or something like that, we want to make sure that that is included in the budget. The other category is going to be work. So this is not so much for my job, but for my husband's job, we get a lot of gifts from coworkers, and they also actually do a Secret Santa for my husband with his coworkers. So I want to make sure that is included in the budget as well. And then the last category for gifts is going to be charity. So if you and your family decide to, like, say, adopt a family for the holiday season and get, gifts for like a couple little kids or something like that, make sure that your charity is included in the gift giving. And even if it's something where you just kind of want to keep an eye out for someone who may need a little bit of help, just put a little bit, of a buffer in your budget for your Christmas category and just associate that for the charity. So that is the breakdown for gifts and kind of the categories to be looking at when it comes to your specific gifts. All right, so now we're going to get into our family's Christmas budget and what we have saved currently, what we are going to be trying to save or working towards savings, and how that breaks down. So I'm actually going to get really specific with our budget to share with you guys, just to give you an example. I think it's more helpful than just saying like, we're just going to budget $3,000 for Christmas. Okay, bye. I'm really going to break down the actual numbers behind this budget. So currently we have $175 put away in our Christmas fund. Now, the reason we have not been focusing on Christmas is that we have been focusing more on our vacation savings. So we've got those funds pretty good, and we're now kind of shifting our focus to make sure we have a healthy budget for our Christmas. Now, what I did at the very beginning of the year was I wrote down, this is actually right after Christmas last year, I wrote down everything that we spent and what that breakdown came to. And I set up basically a goal budget versus more of a realistic budget. So the budget I'm sharing with you today is the realistic budget. The goal budget is going to be if, say, I don't know what happens. Say I get a raise or a promotion and we have now extra income to throw towards this budget. Or say if we had started saving at the beginning of the year, this would have been like a more realistic budget for us, was that goal budget. But that goal budget is just like big and fluffy. It is anything that we would want to do within the holiday season. including like a big outing. I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but there's like a Polar Express train. Elias loves trains. So I have looked at this for a couple of years now, and I think we're going to put it in for next year probably. But it's a Polar Express, and they basically have like a train that is essentially a Polar Express. So like Santa, they do hot chocolate. It's like all these little kids in their jammies and like with their family, and it's super, super cute. But that's something that is pricey. It's like $400. Maybe not 400, maybe it's like 300, but it was expensive. I looked at tickets last year, and yeah, they were like $90 a person, and you have to pay for little kids, like all of the little kids. I think like even 1-year-olds had to be paid for. So absolutely crazy, but definitely like a dream kind of like thing that we'd like to do at some point as a family. So that is up in like the big fluffy like dream Christmas budget. So that big dream fluffy budget could be, you know, pretty much anything. Like if you want to do a bunch of different outings, if you want to get like, you know, a lot of different wardrobes, if you want to bless other people like really heftily, you can definitely, you know, do that and add it to your big fluffy budget. So today I'm going to be talking about our realistic budget and what we are actually going to be planning for Christmas. So let's start off with gifts. For our gift total, we are looking at spending just under $1,300. How that breaks down is that our kids' budget, we are looking at $250. That's not per kid, that's total. For spouses, for my husband and I, we are looking at another $250. So just with our family, that's $500. That's pretty hefty. I'm not gonna lie. I'm foreseeing that we'd be able to shave off quite a bit from that budget because again, we're not really focusing too much on gifts for our kids. But because we don't buy them toys and tons of clothes and things throughout the year, we do kind of look at what their needs are at Christmas and make sure that we hit those items. So the next category is Secret Santa. We do a Secret Santa. We started this with my husband's family, and now we do it with my family. And so we spend usually like $60 per person, or that took us from having to buy gifts for like 7 people down to buying 2 gifts. And you make sure that, you know, they're like nice, like quality gifts, but rather than getting everyone like $20, you know, to the movies, you're able to give a good quality gift to like one person and just do a Secret Santa. And so we budgeted $120 for Secret Santa. For our parents, I do still like to give them a little something. So we also budgeted $200 for parents. That could be less, could be more, but for instance, my husband's mom is not included in the Secret Santa because that's just my family. So we need to budget for gifts for her also. The next category is cousins. So this is for our kids. So their cousins, we've budgeted $200. Our daycare family, we budgeted about $150, which is pretty high, but that includes our care providers, our teacher, any like treats that we want to send, and then the kids that are going to do like their Secret Santa or gift exchange. And then for my husband, for work, we've budgeted $100. And again, this could be, for me, you know, I could get like, you know, $5 Starbucks gift card to my coworkers. And then my husband's Secret Santa exchange would also be covered with that as well. Okay, so the other categories that we have that we are budgeting for is our brunch that I shared about earlier that we did host this last year. So we are budgeting $200 for brunch. For baking, because I do love to bake, I think it's super fun and definitely a great time to try out making different treats, I budgeted $100 for that. For our family photos, we also budgeted $100, and that usually covers our family photo session. And then sometimes I'll like print photos as well. But in addition, we have budgeted $60 for family cards for the holiday season. So that will include getting our cards printed and stamps if we need them. We don't send out a ton of cards, like mail them. We usually just hand them out to family on Christmas or around Christmas, but we do mail some. So I want to make sure we have stamps for that as well. So that's included in the family cards budget. And then I love a matching pajama moment. So I do budget for matching family pajamas. I budget roughly about $20 per pajama set. I can usually get them less than that, but for this category, I've budgeted $80. And then for our family outing, we've budgeted $100. So that's an additional $640 for those miscellaneous categories, which brings our total Christmas budget to $1,910 as our goal. Like I said, we already have $175 saved. So that brings us to $1,735 that we want to save for Christmas. Wow. Holidays get expensive. So let's talk about breaking down that budget because we are in July. We now have 5 months, if we started counting August, 5 months from August to December to save for Christmas. So that means we have to divide whatever our family budget is, our budget goal is, down by 5. So divide it by 5. For us, that brings us to a budget of $347 that needs to be accounted for each month to save for Christmas. For just easy math, I'm just rounding to $350. Now, I do want to share with you a few different challenges that I thought of for you if you are beginning to save for Christmas. So maybe you are in a similar situation like us. You have kind of a big family. You like to do a lot of things. You guys like to get together. You have daycare people to provide for or to gift for, and just miscellaneous expenses. And you want to do like a $2,000 budget as well. So if you're looking at starting in August, budgeting for a $2,000 Christmas, divided by 5, that would be $400 you want to save each month. If you're looking at half of that, so $1,000 that you want to have saved for Christmas divided by 5, it's going to be $200. And if you want to have $500 saved by Christmas, you're going to want to put away $100 each month. Now, if you are in a position where you have some wiggle room for your budget in July and you can start saving now in the month of July, I'm going to share with you some numbers to have the Christmas budget broken down into 6 months rather than 5 months. So if you start saving this month, which is July, and you're going to be saving from July through December, obviously you'll be spending money in December or maybe even earlier than that. But for things like the family brunch or outings and things like that, I feel like we can still be putting that money away in December and not have to have all of our budget saved before December begins. So anyway, if you are starting to save in July, here is your breakdown for 6 months worth of savings. So for $2,000, you want to put away $334 a month. For a $1,000 budget, you want to put away $167 a month. And for a $500 budget, you want to put away $84 a month. So that is your Christmas challenge, and those are the breakdowns for how much to save each month depending on your budget goals. All right, guys, I cannot believe we're talking about Christmas already, but it's going to be here before we know it, and we want to make sure that we're prepared and ready to have a great holiday season with very little stress. At least stress when it comes to money. We don't want that. It might be other areas of stress for Christmas, but we'll talk about those another time. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. If it has, be sure to give it a thumbs up so I know that you've enjoyed the content, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new. I will talk to you guys soon. Happy budgeting. Bye-bye.